Oh, hello, and welcome to day 13 of the FrankenGames, my video series in which I look at every single Frankenstein video game ever made. But it's day 13, which means we've gotten through a whole lot of games. Let's see what we're up to today. Today is numbers 33, 34, 35. Yeah, we're up to the 30s. That's where we are. But as always, because this is all based, this all exists because of the book by Mary Shelley called Frankenstein. I always read a random quote from that story, so here it is. With how many things are we on the brink of becoming acquainted if cowardice or carelessness did not restrain our inquiries? So, if we weren't so afraid, and we weren't so mindless and careless, how much more could we learn and do if we just are a little more brave, a little more thoughtful? That's what the quote is saying. And it's a good quote. I'm happy we have a good quote here because so many of the quotes, the random quotes that get pulled, are just like real sour, real bad news quotes. Because yes, the characters are generally really miserable in this book, so it's nice to get something a little more, uplifting along the way here. But anyway, there's that. Got the quote out of the way. Let's move on to the first game. Alright, so what's this one? This is Frankenstein Interactive from 2012. An iOS game for iPhone and iPad. Although, of course, I'll be playing, because once again, emulation is a most wonderful thing. I'm going to be playing these iOS games on a Mac. So, because Mac M1 Max, which is a new CPU they're making, allows for emulation. So it's just going to be very easy for me to emulate all these iOS games on here. So I'll be playing once again via emulation. But yeah, so iPhone, iPad game originally. It was developed by Inkle Limited of 80 Days fame, one of my favorite games ever, so I've been very excited to play this game because of Inkle's involvement. And the brief description is, play through an updated version of the story's text repeatedly from viewpoints of different characters. So, I knew of this one because of 80 Days, right? I loved what they had done there. I had kind of poked at some of their other works, and Frankenstein, I remember being among those. So I've been aware of this Frankenstein version for a long time, but I just never got to play it. So it'll be excited to hop in and see what they mean, because I guess 80 Days is like a interactive fiction. I think that's their whole thing, is interactive fiction. But the presentation of it to me is like, that's a video game. It's a game, and it has video elements and graphic elements and interactive animated bits happening as you interact with the story, So yeah, let's just hop in and start going through this. But so yeah, I've been really interested to see how this is. Oh, so yeah, we're on a Mac. We should be able to just maximize the window. Nice. All right, Profile Books and Inkle present Frankenstein by Dave Morris. So I guess Dave Morris, I guess, adapted Mary Shelley's book for this version of the story. Read. What is this? Extras. I'm just gonna poke at that real fast. What do we have? We have some acknowledgements. We have Art of Frankenstein. Oh, you can see the edges. You can see the limits of the emulation here, because interesting. I wasn't aware that this could happen on iOS, but yeah, it looks like this game that was designed for an iPad. This, based on the square format, I would say this was really an iPad-focused game. You can see that art on the edges disappears because, if a piece of art is not needed, you're gonna unload it. You're not gonna keep it in memory. Okay, cool. So yeah, some extras in here. That's nice. Anatomical illustrations, real creepy looking, as was the style at the time. Although, actually, no, I think these very anatomically correct depictions of anatomy and maps and stuff, I'm sure it was a big deal at the time. But now, when you look back on this stuff on old yellowed paper, it just looks creepy. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, Dave Morris. Okay. So yeah, looks like he's an author, maybe a graphic artist. Let's see what it says. Graduate of physics. So he writes novels and interactive fiction, designs video games. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit about this Dave Morris character. More from Inkle. I wonder if 80 Days. Oh, there it is. Oh, No, this is from 2012. So I guess this version of Frankenstein that I'm playing was updated, just so people could be aware of, like, hey, if you're playing this, definitely play 80 Days. I can confirm that. It's a fantastic game. Sorcery, I downloaded Sorcery. I did not get too far into it, so I should get into that someday as well. All right, so there you go. Some neat extras, some details, some credits. No, I'm not doing full playthroughs, so I will not be doing a credit. Oh, here's an interesting question, though. Since we're emulating, how do I back out of this? Oh, swipey, because we're on an iPad, right? Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I like that. Of course, you would design your menus this way if you designed it for players on an iPad. That's how you would do it. Okay, let's just start this thing by clicking on read, I assume. Oh, hold on. I want to click on that real fast. Oh, okay. They give you some context for the original story. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they give you just the original text. That's neat. And again, it's public domain, so sure, why not? Just throw it in there. Although this is fascinating. What is this about? Whoa. Oh, look at that. Some interactivity sending you to the web. That's neat. All right, let's go back to the game. The writing? I guess they give you the original version, just the stuff written from the point of view of the creator. And what is this part? In Search of Mary Shelley. Oh, they're just giving you a recommended biography of the original author. Well, that's all great. That's fantastic stuff. And now I assume this gets us into the game proper. Part 1. I begin the creation of a human being. The ethereal energy which wise Prometheus tempered into paste, and mixed with living streams the godlike image cast. From such root principles our form began, and earth was metamorphosed into man. Is that in the original? I don't think that's in the original. Pretty sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is definitely not 80 Days style. This is very... It looks like this might straight up be like an interactive adaptation of Frankenstein from written by someone else, by this guy, Dave Morris. Let's click through a bit, see how far it takes us. The workshop of filthy creation. It was quieter in Paris today, though the riots have left scars. Half the ground floor windows have boards over broken panes, and there are holes in the street where cobblestones have been gouged up to use as missiles. After a night in the library, I made my way home to the Palace Maubert. Oh God, that's got to be awful French. I apologize to anyone who knows the proper pronunciation of Maubert. Maubert? I couldn't do that. I'll say Maubert. Maubert, in hope that Baker would have macaroons again, but his shutters were closed. Macaroons? It sounds like we're in the middle of the French Revolution, and this guy's talking about macaroons. What are you doing? Get out of there, buddy. Or fight, I guess. But well, that's not... No, what am I thinking? If you're in the middle of a war situation, of course you're going to miss macaroons and your favorite candy and a loaf of bread from your favorite corner shop that's been destroyed because you're in the middle of a, war zone, basically. So yes, macaroons actually makes perfect sense in this scenario. But the shutters are closed, so we're not going to get macaroons. Drips of fresh paint proclaiming his pride in the tricolor. It could merely be a ploy to avoid having a shop ransacked. Well, I grew up in LA during the LA riots, and this all sounds very familiar. Because if you're a shop owner in the middle of all this stuff happening, you're really just trying to not get your shop destroyed. So whatever you have to paint on your walls to get people to leave you alone, you would do it for sure. But everywhere now you will see such displays of revolutionary fervor. I'm on my way back to my lodgings. Will you walk with me? Interesting. Why are we in Paris? Frankenstein was never in Paris. We were in Switzerland. We were in England, Scotland. And I suppose he might have passed through Paris during the travels? Huh. Oh, I didn't even notice I have choices down at the bottom. I just clicked whatever was there. All right, so we're walking with someone. We can cut through these back streets. I'm not even 10 minutes walk from here. Or perhaps you would prefer the scenic route. Oh, here we go. This is the 80 Days thing. I guess 80 Days has like a, how would you say it? Like a flashier presentation. It's got like, steampunk carriages walking through the scene and you see portraits of characters. So I guess it's just a different presentation, but it is the same basic concept of you read some text and you make a choice, and that thus interactive fiction. That's how it works. All right, so yeah, we're making choices. Okay, that's great. So do we take the shortcut or do we see the sights? Well, given that I'm not gonna, as always, I'm not doing a full playthrough. I'm only gonna record for a little bit. So I think we should just speed along through some shortcuts. Let's see what happens. All right, that's better. I love following these narrow alleys. You can emerge half a mile from where you set out, and it's as if you've burrowed through space and time. And of course, it's a relief to get away from the teeming crowds. Just keep your wits about you. While the law is busy rounding up aristocrats, common thieves have been flourishing. What were we talking about? Ah, yes, macaroons. There was a crowd outside the store, mostly women with empty baskets. They must have known the bakery would not open today, but it gives them a place to talk. And these are days when there is much to talk about. Oh man, this is too real. It is as though the air carries a charge, a vital spark that forces the heart to beat quicker. And the haze over the city now that autumn is here, dust from all the crowds, of course, but shining like the golden clouds that shroud Olympus. Oh wow. As I'm recording this, spoiler, you're seeing this in October. I'm recording this in like July before that. But the Olympics are happening right now. 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. So there you go. That's a bit of relevant text to this moment in time. A girl caught my arm. She had a tray of cockades? Knots of cheap, gaudy ribbons on a pin. Oh, thank you for explaining what that is. Every citizen must wear one, she said, and her eyes were so wide and bright. Hope and fear. Which is at the forefront, I wonder? Oh, no. Yep, even the kids have to deal with the consequences of what the adults are choosing to do. People are excited by the future. People are anxious. Well, if this is the French Revolution, I think if you're of the people and not of the, up high 1%, I think you're excited. I mean, you're scared. You're definitely, or I guess, it's up to me to choose what the people are doing. Well, I'll just to be excited. I'll choose, the positive answer there. Yes, I feel it too. What a time to be alive. All of history to this moment has lived in the childhood of mankind, and now we have come to childhood's end. For there is no natural law that places one man on a throne and another at his feet. True dat. Such an order is the grossest violation of natural law, where the only true authority flows from reason. Oh, yeah, that's a tricky thing too. If you catch yourself thinking like, oh, I'm a reasonable person, and this group of people is not reasonable because they're not thinking on the same wavelength, like, Yeah, I think that's one of the flaws of Frankenstein, really, too, is he thinks himself above others because he's such a little genius. Like, oh, I'm so smart, but, are you? That's definitely one of the points of that story is like, you're not so smart, buddy. Or even the smartest among us can really screw it up when they're trying to do something. All right, where was I? The people have arrested their tyrant, and now they have the power to shape their own future. That look in their eyes, it is the same excitement I felt when, stepping from the carriage that brought me from Geneva 4 years ago. Hey, there's Geneva. I first stood before the university gates. That's why I bought the cockade, even though, look, the ghastly cheap thing has already come unraveled. Well, what'd you expect, buddy? All right, what is your name? Why, what a question. Surely you know me. Okay, so now we get confirmation that that's Frankenstein. Yeah, you're Frankenstein. Baron, I'm no aristocrat, just plain Victor Frankenstein, the son of a Geneva magistrate. Our family is respected, and I dare say we are more fortunate than most, but we are hardly noblemen. Which is just as well, since the National Assembly has abolished the nobility, and even the Duke of Orleans... Orleans? In French it would be like Orléans, right? Orléans? Nowadays styles himself Citizen Philip Equality. That's a try-hard move. Like, I'm Mr. Equality, how are you? Even though I'm very rich. Yeah, Frankenstein, I've always wondered this too. Frankenstein never has to work, right? That's something I always make note of in any adaptation is this doctor who creates the creature never has to work for funding or for money. He always just has money, which is probably the best choice to move the story along. Because if you have to stop to work a job to earn money to pay for your mad science, that's probably boring. So I'm sure it's a shortcut just to kind of get through the story, but I have noted, like, yeah, this guy's got money. And the background is, I think that his dad's a doctor who makes a ton of money. And I agree, he's not a noble. They're not noblemen. They're not like, royalty, but they're doing very well. And again, Victor Frankenstein, the character, never has to work. So, yeah, he's trying to convince himself here, I think, because it's like, no, buddy, you've got privilege, you got money. All right, so all right, so I have some choices about the conversation. Yeah, tell me about your family. Actually, I do want to see what they wrote for this. Do you know I have not seen my family in almost 4 years. I become so lost in my studies, I might as well be in a diving bell on the ocean bed. Friends, correspondence, food, and sleep, all are forgotten. It is a fault, I know. Oh, that's too relatable. I'm real bad at keeping in touch with anybody. I will write to my father and Elizabeth tonight. Henry, too. I cannot tell them of my work, not until I am certain of success. But they will be eager for news from the heartland of the revolution. You know, it's strange that I came to Paris at this very time. It's as though the world has woken up around me, as though the great endeavor to which I have set myself has inspired a general casting off of superstition. Coincidence, naturally. But what is coincidence? Really, what is it? Ideas have a time. This is the age in which reason is in the ascendant. My studies, the discoveries I have made, go hand in hand with the spirit of change. I don't believe in destiny, of course, and yet. What is this? Oh, I have to pay attention to that arrow, because I might be clicking first choice without realizing there's more options. Yeah, let's get to the point here. Tell me about making a creature. Science gripped my imagination from an early age. In other studies, you go as far as others have gone before you, and there's nothing more to know. But in a scientific pursuit, there's continual discovery, continual wonder. So it was with me throughout my first 2 years of study here in Paris. My insatiable thirst for learning astonished my fellow students, and my proficiency soon impressed the masters. When I realized that my professors could teach me to know more, indeed that in my grasp of the landscape yet undiscovered, I could see more clearly than they, I thought of returning home to Geneva to my friends and family. Then an incident happened that led me onto a fresh course of study, and that has protracted my stay these last 2 years. So, this story is just transplanting him from Ingolstadt, where he first goes to study, to Paris, I think. Like, they're just saying, like, nope, he's in Paris when all these things happen. Tell me about the incident. My rooms are in Rue Mouffetard, and meals are brought in by an old servant. Oh man, I keep stumbling over French words. Often I forget the time, however, and turn from my work to find the bread stale or the soup gone cold. Thus I will often be found breakfasting in a tavern on the way to lectures, a book propped open in one hand, as I cram in food along with knowledge. Oh no, can I? Alright, then let me scroll, good. On the day I'm speaking of, the back room of the tavern was undergoing repairs, when suddenly there was a great shout of the din of chisels stopped. What? Great shout of, and the din of chisels stopped, I say. Distracted more by the whispers of the workmen than I had been by their singing moments earlier, I went to see what was happening. The room was thick with mortar dust, and chips of brick and stone lay everywhere. They had not put out sheets for some reason, so the table and chairs where I had often sat debating with my fellow students now seemed as a ruin and long abandoned to time. On the table lay an object which I perceived to be a mummified human hand. A workman had found it behind the brickwork of the chimney. I had no idea how it came to be there. I guess that's creepy to discover, but I would find it interesting, which is why it's in this story, because it is interesting to find someone's hand inside the wall of your house. That's weird. I have no idea how it came to be there. That was not the mystery that occupied my interest. Really? Rather, it was the length of the nails, which are often said to grow after death. The sight of that hand, of unknown age and origin, severed and sealed away for who knows what reason, and yet continuing for a time to nurture some flickering spark of the essence of life. That is the question that has burned like a beacon before me these last 2 years. What is the essence of life, and how may it be generated? So he makes that leap from a gnarly, mummified hand with long nails. Like, alright, dude. So what's the answer? Yep, I succeeded in discovering the cause of generation in life. More than that, I am myself capable of bestowing animation upon lifeless matter. Here are my lodgings. Come up and I'll show you. Lead the way. So here's the lab where laboratory I was telling you about, well out of the way of prying eyes. Climbing those stairs is the most exercise I get all day. It's cramped in here. You'll have to squeeze around the tank. It's where I store the fruit of my labors in its dormant state. Excuse the smell. That's the alkali bath in which the specimen is developed. Oh, we're going right to it. In which the specimen is developing. A little high in caloric, you may think, although it reminds me of marzipan. Let me move these jars aside. See the metallic coating? This is what stores the electric fluid. By linking the jars together in what Mr. Franklin terms a battery, like guns, you see, we can obtain an increase in the charge. That will be needed later. See, perhaps I can best demonstrate with this frog that I have on the dissection board. Whoa. Galvani, I think, was his professor. Like, it was the teacher who started teaching Frankenstein, and then Frankenstein was like, you suck. Or rather, again, Frankenstein decided he's better than this guy, and he just, moves on without this professor. No, just tell me what's in the tank, dude. I cannot show you the whole creature yet. It's not yet stable to remove from the liquor omni, and though here is its arm. Stand back, be careful the liquor doesn't splash on you. I'm not sure of its effect on ordinary human flesh. I think of this tank as the creature's omnion. Are you aware of the origin of the word? Okay, so I'm glad they give you obvious options like, oh, hold up. Like I think we just met this dude, and he's showing us around his lab. He's got dead frogs and like severed limbs floating in amniotic fluid. So like, yes, what the heck is that? Say rather human-like, I have been inspired by nature, but not constrained by her. Yeah, weird. All right, so we have choices. So do we want to remark on how big it is, the fact that it's transparent, or just that I think it's a corpse? Just call it what it is. It has never lived, which is not the same thing. In a few weeks, the creature will be complete. Then this cold clay I'm showing you will radiate the warmth of true living flesh. Wait a minute. Has never lived? Is he saying he grew it? Because I feel like a pivotal thing of Frankenstein is the fact that he uses collected body parts to, assemble a new creature. I think he's implying here that he grew it from nothing. Hold on. Will it think and have feelings like a man? That's a valid question. Well, here's the rub. The ghost of the machine, to Précis Descartes, the structure of the brain is far beyond my power to replicate, so I implanted tissue from the brains of several unborn children, bathed in certain internally secreted chemicals that appear to stimulate growth, and grafted this to a fully developed brainstem. Thus the creature will be born with an infant mind, but the mind should mature at a greatly accelerated rate. As to the nature of its thoughts and feelings, they may be like yours or mine, or they may be something entirely new. Oh man, we're basically reading a book here. I'm watching the clock like, I think I'm straining the limits of my usual playtime for these games. What is this? Go away, pop-up. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up soon. I would love... Also, stem cells. That's what we're talking about, by the way, right? He's saying he has tissue from unborn kids, so from fetuses, and I think we're implying stem cells here. Is that's what they're using as the device. All right, let's just. Oh, I think we finished chapter 1. When do you think his birthday should be? The perfect date would have been the 1st of Vendemiaire. Then he'd be the same age as the Republic, but we've missed that. What about Halloween? No, I'm joking, my friend, and perhaps in poor taste. But just a few weeks more work, late October, early November, and I should be ready. Hey, that's very good timing. Is this actually going to take place during October? There are a few small tasks still to complete. If you're interested, come with me next week, and I'll show you. What happens when I do this? All right, well, there you go. That's chapter 1 of Frankenstein Interactive by Inkle. I like it. I totally do, actually. I really like this. I think this is one of those games I will finish playing after I'm done recording. Not many, by the way. It's most games I happily just kind of like, I'm cool with the 20 minutes I spend with them and I move on. But this one is interesting. Again, it does lack the flair and the polish of 80 Days, which yeah, I don't know if it's a flaw in me, but I am as a video game player, I do look for that polish to like make it, I don't know, more, not immersive, just more engaging, maybe. I guess my brain just needs the visuals. But yeah, that's it for now. That's it for this this video. So yeah, Frankenstein Interactive. If you have an old iPad that can still run this, maybe it still runs on new iPads. I don't know, but anyway, whatever device you have that can play this, I think I would definitely recommend it for sure. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let's move on to the next. All right, now we're in 2014 with Wesinator 35, The Mad Bloody Frankenstein. That's the title of this game, released on Windows, developed by Wesley. Hey, Wesley. And the very simple description of the game, old abandoned platformer. And I don't know for sure, but we're coming into the era in which itch.io, the video game website, or publishing website, or store, it's a store, the itch.io store, where selling your video game there, or just making your video game available for download is a lot easier to do there. So there's a ton of games. We're going to see a whole lot of games from itch.io, but here we are in the early days, and that's where I got this game, or found this game, Wesinator 35, The Mad Bloody Frankenstein. I would assume, I guess, Wesinator 35 is just the name of this person, Wesley, but who knows? Let's fire it up. Ah, there you go. All right. Got us a platformer. Oh, no, I can't zoom? Come on, Wesley. Okay, there we go. We're zoomed in. Now we can begin. I hope. Well, looks Minecrafty already. Or do I just go? Oh, I just go. Let's see. That's the jump button. Arrows are to move. I collect cheese. Wonderful. Get that arrow out of the way there. Alright, well, looks like we got us a regular old 2D platformer with all sorts of UI elements that are probably not needed. Green cheese. Oh, green cheese is good. Looks like I want a score. I don't know what happened there. Using some copyright protected assets here. You can't... Jumping and moving is weird. Alright, well anyway, let's just keep collecting that cheese. Can't get hurt, that's great. Oh, that's what that is, level up. Oh no, you made me lose that cheese. Let me see if I can cheese this. If I can cheese these controls. No, I can't go back. Alright, well these... Yeah, that just gave me a whole lot of experience. Level complete, 15 experience, 35,000 points. Wonderful. Level 2. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, I guess if I was to guess what was going on here, this looks like a... Well, I mean, the description actually is apt. I think this person was, like, just kind of goofing around in some game development engine. They put this together. What the... How did I... Was that not ground level? I guess not. Yeah, this looks like just someone, learning how to set up a 2D platformer. Nope. Also, experience bar is gone. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. Let's keep going here and see where this leads us. Oh, we're back. It's some... No. This... No way, I'm dead. There's no way to jump up from there. What happened? Alright, yeah, this is the start of level 2. That's just the checkpoint there. How far should we go? As always, I don't play all the way through these games because there's not enough time when you're looking at 80-some video games total. So I only play a few minutes. Let's just let's get to the end of level 2. Let's see if I can figure that out. Which I think is as simple as just not falling down there. That's a trap. That green cheese tempts you, you fall down there and you're stuck. That's kind of mean, Wesley, I don't know. Hey. Level complete. Actually, I lied. I want to do one more level. Just because I am curious how far this developer took it. Jump, 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 jump. Hey, green. But again, the UI is screwed up, so... Oh. That looks like a leap of faith. Go! We got tricked. Underwater level. This is oddly compelling. Like, it does make me want to continue playing. I'm not even moving. Like, the character's just automatically spinning and moving forward right now. How far is it gonna go? That was me jumping. Yeah, I think what happens is every time I level up, the character goes into this little spin attack thing. Okay, mine, the iron. So this... Alright, this character, this developer loves them some Minecraft, but that's where I'm going to stop. So that was Wesinator 35, the Mad Bloody Frankenstein. Relevant because, well, I found it because Frankenstein's in the title. But also, I guess that's Frankenstein? That Minecraft-looking zombie character? Might be a Frankenstein monster? Who knows? That's the end of this one. So, yeah, let's wrap it up, move on to the next one. Alright, here we are, moving on to the next game. One of a duology, I guess. This duology, well, you won't see both in this video, but just, yeah, it's the beginning of a pair of games. This first game is JR's Mad Dash, or Junior's Mad Dash? Probably Junior's Mad Dash, from 2015. It's an iPhone, iPad game, once again, and once again I'm emulating on a Mac that can just emulate iOS games now, which is a great feature, because otherwise, if I had to play these iOS games on a physical iPad, I don't know that I could. I'll be honest. If I didn't have emulation via, modern M1 and beyond Macs, or Silicon Macs, yeah, I don't know that I'd have access to this. It would be a challenge, for sure. So, yeah, we are going to emulate iOS games on a Mac. Well, anyway, but yeah, remaining details are the developer is Digital Summit TV, and a brief description is traverse a gauntlet with only wits, a vicious right hook, and amazing rocket boots. And here we are. Let's fire this up. And let's maximize that window. Oh, you know what, though? What else I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to look up the controls. Because emulating iOS games on a Mac can be a little tricky. I mean, the directions are here. So it's more like I just have to remember which mouse commands replicate those gestures. Like the 2 button, the 1 button, and the glide. So, launch the rocket boots, punch and fall down. Oh, punch button and fall from being in the air. And then glide, looks like it's a swipe? Something? Yeah, I think so. Oh, and 3 fingers is pause. What's this thing? Oh, okay, even more detailed instructions. Alright, it's explaining the point system, the enemies we're going to run into, all obstacles that will be in the way, etc. Alright, it's a bunch of keyboard commands, basically. So, like, the mouse can do certain things, and spacebar and command can do certain things. The arrow keys. I guess we'll figure it out as we go. So, it's an endless runner. Like, this character will just... Alright, yep, we can punch. Oh, we're dead. Of course. Oh, there it is. Oh, there you go. I have to click 2 things at once. That's how multi-touch goes. Okay. Let's just start punching and jumping. So, clearly, vaguely relevant to Frankenstein. It's named Frankenstein because this character is the son of Frankenstein. This is Junior. I've looked up the developer's materials. My understanding... Oh, look at that, it's randomized. Oh, let's restart. Oh man, I should add some water. As always. Yeah, the developer, I think, was creating like a universe of characters and stories based on a character named Frankenstein, his son named Junior.
Oh, crackers!
What? The timing on that jump is weird. Alright, I'm just trying to pull off a jump and not die immediately. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm getting... That might be my meaningful progress for this video, or this gameplay video, because as always, I'm not going to play all the way through. I'm just going to play for some time. So yeah, we'll do as much as we can. So anyway, to finish my thought about why this is relevant to Frankenstein, it's simply the fact that the characters are Frankenstein and his son, and that's it. There's just no other element that's like... I think the backstory is about like, oh, you know, their humans are persecuting them and they have to run, fight them, maybe. Can I punch in the air? I have no idea. Let's jump up and find out. It looks like I can punch, but it'll send me back to the ground. Good VO, I guess? Oh, crackers. That's a line. Can I stay in the air? Oh, took a fall. So this does remind one of, you know, certainly in this series I've already... Wait, can I jump forever? Wait, this is weird. Can I just stay there? I can just stay there. They're not going to punish me for it. Okay, well, if the game lets me, I'll get away with it. Maybe not. But yes, this is just another side-scrolling platformer. We had a bunch in the 80s and 90s, then we got away from this style of game for a while. We're gonna get back into it. I guess this is the beginning of the indie games era, because just an easy type of indie game is this. A side-scroller. Because this is meant for mobile, the infinite runner aspect, I think, is another pretty common thing. Like, think of Flappy Bird, right? Like, it's just a game where your character just constantly moves, so your objective really is to just dodge things, attack things, but ultimately you're not stopping, so you have to deal with that as a constraint. Okay, cool. Yeah, the jump's kind of delayed. I don't know if it's the emulation or what, or if it's the game, but not happy. I mean, yeah, it could just be the fact that I'm not playing on an original device as intended, but who knows. Oh. Yeah, again, what's the order of pressing buttons here? This? Oh, it's the release. Oh, it's on release. It's not when you press the buttons, it's when you release the buttons that it performs the action, so... That's just a note to myself. Those visuals, though, that looks really good. Like that lava. In fact, yeah, the art in general is great, actually. The enemies, I don't know, kind of generic. They look good. That's a mummy on a giant bat. They look good for what they are, but, yeah, not the most thrilling character designs. Just very generic, spooky monster stuff. Which is going to be a thing, honestly, from now on. As always, I'm not playing games in which Frankenstein is part of an ensemble. Like, Frankenstein has to be the focus. Or a character of Frankenstein, in this case, his son, Junior. But, it's fine. I'll accept it. I'm doing it, so clearly we're doing this thing. I do like the art style for the... I think that's a sprite, right? Like, that's not a 3D model. No, there's no way any of this stuff is 3D. It's all 2D stuff. But yeah, the main character, the playable character there, has kind of like a claymation look. It could just be like the way they rendered out the frames or animated the frames. It gives it kind of that aesthetic, but yeah, I like it. Just, yeah, claymation style, underutilized aesthetic for sure. I mean, I would assume it's a 3D rendered model or sprite, but hey, if they actually, you know, built out a physical clay model, that'd be amazing. All right, we're just. I wonder what the end of a level is. Should I try? No, I mean I won't go forever here. I would assume you just go forever. You raise your score, and you're just trying to get the best score possible. I don't know. Landing on a character, I feel like that should take them out. Like what? Yeah, this is totally going to be like infinite runner. Get the best score possible. Score attack, I think, is the term for that kind of thing. The score attack game. Well, we've been running for a while here, so I think. Ooh, that was threading the needle. That was good. I think this will be the last run. So let's really try to survive. Which again, I think I can just cheese it by doing this. You won't. Your score is gonna suck because you're not collecting the gems down there. But if the game lets me do it, no. Let's. Well, no, I don't want to. I already said I'm not gonna play forever, so let's do the best we can. Oh, whoa. Okay. Again, definitely get Flappy Bird from all of this. Alright. Oh, crackers indeed. Well, that's it. That's Junior's Mad Dash from 2015 by digitalsummit.tv. I don't know if I'd play this again. Again, this is one of two. There's going to be another entry in the Junior's series, Frankenstein Junior series. So this is the first one. So, but yeah, that's it for this game. Let's move on. All right, and that's the end of day 13. Another trio of games, not even halfway along. So we've got a ways to go. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and yeah, join me tomorrow for more.